and pleasure to have finally caught up with one of the best and amazing coaches around. Please introduce yourself to our readers and our listeners.
Thank you very much for that huge introduction.
Yes, indeed you are.
Thank you very much. My name is Coach Getrude Munamu. I am married to Tawanda Pumayaramba. I have two lovely kids, and I am a performing artist. In performing arts, I am a writer. I'm a theater and film actress. I'm a TV presenter. I am also into radio, so I do a lot of voiceover work for corporates, for civil organizations, for radio dramas. Among other things, I do a lot of facilitation in NGOs, in schools, training. I'm also the founder and artistic director for the Dendere Arts Trust.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is quite a huge platform that, I'm just so honored to be having this session with you today. Wow. I don't even know where to start.
No, I'm honored to have been invited to this session, really.
No, it's an honor. It's an honor. But tell us something. Tell us more. What is storytelling? What is storytelling?
Okay. Storytelling is the art of telling stories, whether it's audibly or in theater or radio or voice telling, movies. Or maybe written stories, because some people do like my stories. Like, okay, today I'm going to do this bedtime story for my son or for my daughter. That's also storytelling. Also, in pictorial representation, some people actually take pictures and tell a story through pictures. That's why we also have a lot of art galleries and exhibitions that are done in pictorial ways. That's also a style of storytelling. And, there are a lot of ways people tell stories. Some tell it in music form and all. And I am blessed to have been done, and I still do all forms.
Oh wow, that's so interesting. Thank you so much for just educating me. I didn't really know what is storytelling until today, and it's quite a surprise that I have also been storytelling, through selfies and through pictures that I take with my phone. But
exactly.
Yeah, now I do.
And right
understand.
now, as you're interviewing me, it's actually storytelling.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! Thank you for telling me. So I'm also a storyteller, eh?
Exactly. In your own form, yes.
Yes, thank you so much. So, how long have you been storytelling?
Well, I've been storytelling. Well, I've been telling stories all my life. All my life, I've been telling stories. And I started performance in preschool and in kindergarten. And my late father was himself a great artist and a storyteller, because he would film and record a lot of content, and I believe that's where I took it from. Because from a very tender age, we had a studio that we had. That time we used to stay in Plumtree, so my dad would record a lot of content from TV, and then he would put it on cassettes, if you remember back in the day, cassettes, so he'd do that. So we had a studio that we had to rent movies from. So people would come and rent movies from there. And, my father was also a photographer. He was also a person that used to shoot movies.
Okay.
So I think I took it from there. And from performance at my former primary school, Alan Redfern in Plumtree, and there used to be this lip sync competition that we used to do. I used to take part in that, and my dad used to film that for the school. And then I grew up. I went to secondary school at Mpandeni High School, where I joined the drama club. And we did a lot of performance there together with Mbakwe, our brother school. There was a lot of activity that used to happen. And I moved from there. I went to Victoria High School for my high school education. And, that in itself was enough to birth and nurture the gift inside me of entertainment through art.
Wow.
And art and performance, to me, is life, Coach. It's actually my life. I come alive when I speak, and touching lives of many through art was what I do, and it really gives me so much happiness to still do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting to hear. Well, congratulations on your yesterday production here, traveling to Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much.
Tell us more about traveling to Zimbabwe.
Okay, the project's name is called Through the Eyes of Zimbabwe. Okay. Through the Eyes of Zimbabwe. And thank you so much again. And we thank the Almighty for the grace to work during this tough time. Through the Eyes of Zimbabwe is a storytelling project that has been given the opportunity and the support to do by the Culture Fund of Zimbabwe and the EU in their Creative Actions project. And I'm so grateful for the support for them. And without their support, it wasn't going to be possible. So Through the Eyes of Zimbabwe is a 13 episode series of exhilarating and Hello?
Sorry, Coach. I programmed my phone to cut after every 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can just continue.
Okay, so Through the Eyes of Zimbabwe is a 13 episode series of very exciting ngano.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And in Isindebele ngano is called inganekwane, or storytelling, folk stories.
Right.
So it's a 13 episode series of these exciting stories from around Zimbabwe. And also we decided to also create contemporary stories that even the children nowadays can relate to, because Nana Cinderella, Nana Harry Potter, so why not introduce the children to our own stories and make them fun and exciting and engaging to the level of Anana Harry Potter. We have always been storytellers here in Zimbabwe and in Africa. It was actually a way of life. So it touches the way of life. It has lessons. It has warnings. It has games, our African games. And there's actually a story that I actually teach how to make umnguchu. I think in Shona, Sam. Sam.
Wow.
Yes. So those are the kind of stories, and Zimbabweans are quite an exciting bunch of people. In that we used to experience back in the day when our sekurus, Nana Ambuya, would sit down with us around the bonfire, Washikanga Maputi, and Mandira, telling us stories.
Yes.
So that's the cultural heritage that I wanted to achieve with this project, reliving who we are through storytelling. Because the present generation, as I said before, have little to none knowledge of and experience of the treasure that we used to have, Isusu. And I think they would be proud through this project and exciting stories of who they are and our way of life.
Yes.
And why not do it in the form of storytelling, Coach?
Yes.
The white men wrote their stories, and it's also we told our stories through dance, music, painting, our dressing, our food, from generation to generation, through art. And it was such a magical way and also exciting that we can share this with our generation. And maybe just to add on the project, we are going to be telling the stories in Shona, Ndebele, English, Shangani, Venda. We've got different languages respectively, and they're going to be told by amazing, talented storytelling gurus in our industry, like Bob Mtumbi, Delma Diamond, Mbuya Nyaradzo, and Sister Keshia, and Charlene Mangweni, Furusa, and myself, and also the amazing Pasmon Lovu, who is the one who's going to be telling in Shangani. So I'm really excited and looking forward to sharing this project. And I'd like to thank Culture Fund of Zimbabwe again and Dandere Arts Trust for everything that they've done. And we're going to be sharing all these stories, Coach, on Culture Fund pages, on Dandere Arts pages, my pages, and the people that I just mentioned, their pages. We're also looking to share these stories with different media houses that we're still having discussions with here.
Wow. I'm really so chuffed to watch more and looking forward to hear more about storytelling. And thank you so much, because I'm just thinking, what better way to tell Zimbabwean stories through a Zimbabwean? So thank you so much. It's different when you have someone who's from South Africa tell a Zimbabwean story, but when it's told by a Zimbabwean who understands everything, it makes a difference.
Right.
It makes a difference. Oh yeah, before I forget, Coach, one of my productions that I love that you have done is called Withered. I always play it and I always look at it, and I'm just amazed by your talent and your
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Skills.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Know that you've got a fan in the house.
Thank you so much for the support always.
No, that's all right. So my last question, Coach, is how can we Zimbabweans tell our story and change the... Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. So my question is, how can we as Zimbabweans or as Shona-speaking people or Ndebele people change the way that the world see us through storytelling? How can we do it? How can we make it more to be more powerful?
Rich cultural heritage, our traditional background, and to share that. And let me hasten to say, through ICMF and my personal ongoing coaching sessions with my coach, who is yourself, I've learned personally self-acceptance, because the moment you don't accept yourself, you have a tendency of stabbing yourself in the back and saying really bad things about yourself. This also goes out to our nation as a whole, because if you look at the narrative that we ourselves push out there about Zimbabwe, sometimes it's really bad. Yet we need to be proud of our own nation and be able to be the change that we want the nation to be. So I think it all starts personally. And I've learned self-acceptance, love, and how to appreciate myself, and the ability to remove negative and toxic beliefs and narratives through unlearning certain things. So that on its own has really motivated me in the work that I do as a whole. And Zimbabwe is such a beautiful country, and it has such a rich wealth in everything, Coach. And I'd love to open up to the world and share that beauty. So it's really a personal thing that everyone has to learn to just remove that bad narrative and enjoy the homeliness of being Zimbabwean.
Wow.
So I think the best way to tell that story is to appreciate yourself first. Then you'll be able to appreciate everything that's around you. Making the best of what you have, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the other gurus out there who are telling our story and making sure that it is heard in all the different parts of the world.
Yeah, thank you.
But before we release you, Coach, please can you tell us a story just to help us, refresh our minds. Please tell us, drop us something.
Okay, what story am I going to tell you? Let me just think.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a young man. This young man lived along the river in Inyanga. His name was Taka. Taka was a very intelligent young man who used to love fishing because, of course, he was just living across and just close to the river. So one day, Taka went out to the river as usual to fish, but on that particular day, he went late. As he was late, he found all the fish were gone with people. everyone had hunted down and fished all the fish, and he didn't have anything. So what did he decide to do? He picked up his special horn that he always had, and he began to play it. As he played the horn, every time fish would come out, but this time no fish came out. So he just pulled all his nets from the river, and wow, there were no fish. There was just one little golden fish that was in the basket, and that golden fish was magical. So Taka just put that fish in the basket and left. As he was walking, he heard a voice. "Please, sir, please, sir, please, set me free." He then looked far and wide to see where the voice was coming from, because he thought maybe someone was attacked. But he did not see anything. Then he continued walking home, all sad and distraught. "Please, sir, please, sir, please set me free." He looked underneath his feet. He looked into the sky because he thought maybe it was a bird. But again, he didn't see anything. So he continued walking home. On the third time, "Please, sir, please, sir, please, I'm right here. Please set me free." He then looked into his basket and wow. It was that fish. Oh. He began asking the fish, "What are you doing in my basket?" Then the fish said, "You put me in here." Then he said, yes, I put you in there, but why are you speaking?" Then that fish began to speak. "Well, we had a meeting down the stream, and, it was me and Mkoma Nyami Nyami, and we were just deliberating on who is going to be the new president of this river. So, on my way back home after the Politburo, you caught me in your net." Then the boy laughed. Come on, Mr. Fish. You came into my net." Then they went back and forth. But then the fish had a desire. "Please, sir, return me into the water." But then he started remembering that he hadn't caught anything, and reaching home empty-handed wasn't quite a good idea. Then the fish pleaded with him and said, "Please, sir, if you put me back, I will give you anything that you wish for. All you have to do is come early in the morning, call me 3 times, and then I'll come out and you say your wish, and I will grant your wish." He started thinking about it. Water, pot. Water, food. Then he decided, oh, well, it's a small fish anyway, and he threw it back into the river. Tomorrow in the morning, he woke up very early because he didn't want people to see him. So when he got there, he spoke in his hoarse voice, but in a very whispering manner. "Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish." Then, whoosh, the fish came out. "Yes, my friend, what can I do for you?" Then he said, "Mr. Fish, I need some food in my house, and I need a brand new home for me and my family." Then the fish said, "Because of what you did, your wish is granted." The boy then ran back home, and voila! He found a new double-story house which had all the foods, the favorite foods, and they even had food extra in the pantry. Then the following day he went back again. "Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish. This time I want a PlayStation, Mr. Fish, and a Segway, and brand new clothes, and that flat cap, and those nice clothes that Kanye West is putting on these days." Then the fish was like, yes, your wish has been granted." Then he went back home, and voila, he found everything there. So his evil sister heard this, and because the mother wasn't there those days, the sister then said, "Iwe Samar, can you please tell that Mr. Fish of yours that I want a princess dress and nice shoes for my beau?" Because he loved his family so much, he would tell Mr. Fish every wish that his family wanted. But one day his aunt arrived and said, "Inzwaka Shamar, can you please tell that fish that I want to be the next
first lady of this Nyanga.
Coach, let me hold you there. Coach.
Yes.
Yes, I do not want to preempt this whole Taka issue.
Yes.
I want people to like, subscribe, and even listen more.
No, that's fine.
So to you Takas out there, you've heard this story, make a decision. And one of the decisions that you can make, you little Takas, is to like, subscribe, and make sure that you watch these shows.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach, for having this afternoon to chill with us and tell us more about storytelling. And if you are not a storyteller, this is your opportunity to start telling stories now. So thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you so much, Coach Marvin.
No, the pleasure is all mine. There you have it. Little Takas, big Takas. Let's make our wise decisions today, and let's do it now. Bye for now.
Bye.